Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Tonight we're going to be doing Hush Puppies. And the reason why I chose this particular item tonight is because I know that the New Year's is rapidly approaching, and I know that you're going to be looking for a type of cornbread to serve with your black-eyed peas and your collard greens. So I thought that this would be a nice addition to your dinner table just to make Hush Puppies. And we're going to do it in two different ways, but we're only going to use one batter. So let's get started. Here I have 2 cups of cornmeal mix, and the reason why you use cornmeal mix is because your baking powder, your salt, your flour, everything that you need is already inside of your cornmeal mix. Then I have 3/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm going to mix that together. Now, you don't want this batter to be real thin. You want it to be thick enough so you can ball it together. And it'll be just a little bit thicker than that. We may add just a little bit more water. Here I have 1 egg. And I am going to add, I'm going to step away and add another 1/4 of water. I'm going to blend that together. Now, for my black-eyed peas, I love corn. And that's what I will be making on New Year's Day is black-eyed peas. So, I normally have black-eyed peas and corn together. But what I decided today to do is to mix it in my Hush Puppies. We have 1 small onion, and that onion is chopped up. And it's kind of like coarse chopped. And I'm going to mix that in. And anybody that know old school, people have onions and peppers with their black-eyed peas and their greens and peppers. We're going to add 1 jalapeno pepper. Just 1. Now, I'm going to mix this up. Now, I want you to look at this, how coarse this mixture is. And we're going to let it get a little bit coarser, because what we're going to do is we're going to sit this in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes before we get ready to put it in the grease. Now, I'm going to take out half of this mixture, and this will be what I will use for my greens. I'm going to make that into Hush Puppies for my greens. Now, because I don't eat corn with my greens, I do eat it with my peas, I'm going to use this for my peas. So actually what I'll be doing is I'll be sitting down 2 types of Hush Puppies on my table. One will be with corn, one will be without corn. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of whole kernel corn to this mixture. Now, we know because of the baking powder that's in here, this mixture will start to bloat and all of your liquids will be absorbed and you'll get a little thicker batter. So we're going to put this, both of them, in the refrigerator for 15 minutes, and then I'll get back and I'll show you how. Okay, we're back, and I've let it set in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes, so let's cook Hush Puppies. I wanted to show you this. This is just Martha White's cornmeal mix, and you can get any brand of cornmeal mix, but it will say it on the bag, so it wouldn't be, I don't want you to be confused and think that cornmeal is cornmeal mix. It's 2 different things, and the cornmeal mix just means that it has all the ingredients added to it. Now, let's do, and I'm only going to do 2, and the reason why I'm only going to do 2 is because I mix this batter, but I'm not going to use this batter until New Year's Day. But I want to do 2 just to show you how it's done. Now, if you look at the batter, you see how thick it is? That's how thick your batter needs to be. Now, if your batter is not that thick, the only thing you have to do is just add a little bit more cornmeal mix. Then I use 2 spoons. So, I take out enough, just a spoonful, and then I mold it and shape it with the other spoon, and then I drop it into the hot grease. Okay? Now, this will cook relatively fast. It only takes like about 3 minutes, but let it run its course. Don't take it out when it first gets brown because it still needs to cook just a little bit more. Now, I'm going to cover this batter, which was the batter without the corn, and I'm going to do one with the corn. Like I said, if your batter is not thick enough, it's thin, just add a little bit more of your cornmeal mix. Please don't just use it like that because you'll get a pancake. And that's not what you want. Now, as you can see, this one has corn in it. And the only thing I'm really doing is scooping it. See, I'm taking my spoon, sitting it here, and scooping it from spoon to mold and shape it. Then I'm dropping it into my grease. And then you're going to turn it over a little bit if you can. And I'm going to let it fry. Now, if you can look at the one, it's golden brown. But I'm not going to take it out, because I know that it's not done inside. It only takes 3 minutes from start to finish, but give it that 3 minutes. Okay? So I'm only going to do 2, and this is just your regular cooking oil. And I just drop it in just like you would drop in your french fries or something, or your fried chicken, something of that nature. And this is just a good additive for your table because, I mean, hush puppies, people don't cook it all the time. You'll make a skillet of cornbread or something, but you won't just cook the hush puppies. But when people come in and they eat, this is just a nice little way to prepare your cornbread. Okay? And we're going to roll it around. And you don't want to turn your grease up too high, because if you turn up your grease too high, it's going to brown, and it's going to brown beautiful, but it won't be cooked inside. So you want to allow it to cook inside. Now you're going to get a little more cooking once it's out, because it's still hot and everything is still cooking on the inside. Once you take it out of your grease. But from start to finish is only 3 minutes, so I mean, you can really wait. So, and like I told you, I was only going to cook 2 because I'm going to wrap this, put it back in my refrigerator, and I'm going to leave it there until day after tomorrow. And then I'm going to have it with my greens and my beans. Now, people might say, well, how can you tell them apart? Because I'm not going to cook them both at the same time. I'm going to do all of my ones without corn. And then I'm going to do all of my ones with corn. And then I'm going to take a little, just draw up one little sign that says with or without corn. Or separate your plates. Use one colored plate for one, or one designer plate for one designer plate for another. So you'll know which is which. Okay. I just wanted to come back and show you this because this is just a nice added addition for your New Year's Day table. Now this one you can kind of see the bits of corn if you look closely. And that's the other one. Okay? Alright. Now, I showed you how to cook your black eyed peas. I do have a menu for, a recipe for greens, but I know everybody know how to cook, greens. So you can look at my recipes if you choose to. But I didn't want to leave you hanging. I wanted to just have something else that you could put on that table with your greens, your peas, and something sticky. So now you have your hush puppies. You have two different types of hush puppies. You have the hush puppies without corn, and you have the hush puppies with corn. People put a lot of things inside of their hush puppies, but this will really go with your meal, because normally when you're cooking, when you have a menu of this type, you will have your different types of garnishes or condiments on the table, which would be, your hot peppers and your onions and your tomatoes and whatever. Well, you can take all of those things and you can put it inside of your hush puppies and you can fry them up. I just wanted to show you an easy way to have your cornbread on your table. Here, Chris is cooking hush puppies. As always, I want to thank you for watching Chris cook for you too, and Happy New Year!